Right? Too hot? Too hot. Good ladies, morning and evening. We are gathered here to perform some operations on these Oni characters. No, we're not operating on them. We are building things, making stuff. And we are trying not to die. Which is not always possible. Sometimes to kill off your character, do stupid things, the colony dies. On this day, rule. And as you may remember from the previous thrilling installment, yeah, things can get going. We have warning signs from the other place telling us our crops are dying. We haven't even been there yet. So we've already got oxygen piped to here. And that says teleporter disabled 1 out of 2. So we got to go over there with our guy that's been skill scrubbed. Yep, I think he's finished now. He's clean. And we got to pop over there and see what's going on. Come into here. This is the transmitter. This is the receiver. I'm going to inspect the receiver. Okay, that gets us that. That as well. That gets us that. Already inspected that. We can inspect this, I guess. Nothing of interest. Inspect that thing as well. Just gets us a few extra data banks. It don't really matter. We'll get loads of those later. So, someone's already on the way to grab them. Now, who was the guy we skill scrubbed? Who did we skill scrub? It was it Devon? No. Some poor guy's got no skills. He's someone with a lot of skill points. It won't be Frankie. No, I thought it was Devon, but it isn't. It's got skills. Ah, it was Harold. Yes, it was Harold. We will give Harold the exosuit training. He really needs it. And we might have to give him some digging skills, but we'll decide those once he gets there. But we're going to end up with a space. Where is it? Down here. We're going to end up with a space, and I'll just get the heck out of the way, would you? What I was thinking of doing is if we put that fire pole in that we were going to put in here, we would have to block off this somewhere that they can't get past. But this sweeper needs to have access to these 3 tiles. While that's still outside and they can't reach down, there is a reason for this. I have to do 4 tiles, I think. And I can put 2 doors next to each other. They're all bringing in the... It's a good job. Yeah, no. You better jump back. Yeah, thank you. Now, I want a couple of these doors on a bat. Like that, and one like that. Please build those. That would be extra good if you could. They're so desperate for a job, they're grabbing like 1 data bank. What I want to do is get a copper or fire pole going. Down there. No, that's a bad idea. Cancel that. Oops, game save. Let it save. Let it save. Let me have some. What should I have? Dr. Aloe Vera drink. Orange juice, Pepsi Max, and aloe vera. Choices, choices, choices. Choices are there. Well, oh, I've paused it. That's not good, is it? Yeah, we'll get rid of that one so that they don't bust through just yet, because otherwise they can escape without a suit on. And that would be terrible. So we can only afford to put a couple of suits here. Not many. I'm going to take away that one, and I'm going to take that one. Take that one. These are going to be locked. No exit, no entry. And deconstruct. Someone else get the job, please. Yeah. What we're going to have to do is I think we can only put 2 there because we're going to need a checkpoint on it, aren't we? Yes, we are. And that can reach all of that, see? That gives us an extra couple of suits. And yeah, I'd rather get rid of that. Get rid of that transit tube there. Put us another blocking one in. I don't want anyone taking their suit off just here because that'd be rather annoying. Don't take your suits off now. Yeah, we'd better give them somewhere to go, hadn't we? Because they're all stood by the door hankering for a job. Just go the heck away. I'll let you all in the... Yeah. Getting silly. Get rid of that Dreco as well. Oh, don't take your suit off, you muppet breath. He can't go very far, can he? So go in here. He can go in here, but he can't get out of this space. So he's got to put his suit back on. Why are you doing that for? Oh, they're all coming in. They just want to dump all their suits and be idiots. Right. This might not work then. Deconstruct that building. Oh, they're all coming to kill that bleeding thing because they got nothing else to do. Can you go past? No. Can't go past. Wish they'd stop standing here. This is so annoying. Go the hell away. And you piss off. Out my way. Now, I'm not sure this system's going to work then, because all the suits have been dropped. This one can't get hold of any suits there. They've been dropped there, but it's only sent to pick up worn suits. I'm not going to pick up those. They're not worn. Okay. Oh, cancel that. Deconstruct it. Change my mind. Deconstruct it. Don't do it. Bad idea. You? Get that suit on. Get out of my way. Stuff over there. Go away. Atmos suit. Nisbet. I'm going to have to manhandle these suits now, aren't I? You put your suit on. Atmos suit. How many did we get here? I got a quick way of doing it, I guess. I could just tell that to pick up suits. Yeah, you can pick up Atmos suits. Are you allowed in? Yeah, you are allowed in. Without a suit on. That's vacancy only, so they shouldn't have come in without a suit on. Yeah, we won't bother doing that technique. You. In. You. In. Yeah, I thought we could make that work, but having a couple extra suit dock there, but it's not going to work. That's bad. System should sweep up the suits and then take the suits back again. I'm going to prick that back in. Yeah, we'll prick this piece here. Another one of those in. In fact, I might put another one of those in there as well, yeah. So the air can flow nicely. Yep. I was going to trap the guy who is going up to the other place. I was going to put his Atmo suit here. So all the others could come in this way. But no, not doing that anymore. Ellie, would you absolutely please piss off? Go the hell away. No, you don't need to stand on the door. Let's give them something to do. Down here. I don't want to dig that yet. What we got? Beach chair. Oh, very useful. So you could come down here and put a pump in here. Plumbing. What do we want? That's not plumbing, you muppet. That's plumbing. We will put in a steel pump there. We'll get some liquid piping from local materials, hopefully. Or anything? Yeah, there's igneous and granite. Okay. So plumbing, liquid pots. Make it a hard one to build so they're gone for longer. Straight up the ladder. And we're trying to get to come in this way. That way. Actually, what am I doing? Yeah, we can come in at that point there. This is all diggable now. We can dig all of that away. Drop that ladder down to there. What it's made of, but I don't care. Dig all of that out. Yeah, what have we got here? We got ice. I don't want that. And dug. This piece here, yeah, that can all go. That can all go. Keep the ice section to last. They will sweep it. Let's give them some sweep orders. Well, liquefiable. Where's liquefiable? There it is, all of them. On anything liquefiable, got rid of. Not in there. That's a bad place to put. Don't put anything in there. Right, deconstruct that. Want it all taken up to space. Might be some more in here. Yeah. So we'll go up to space. Make sure these are set to liquefiable now. Yep, that is. So is that one. Another one in. No, we can't. Yes, we can. In there. What is in there? Won't let me do it. Well, dig that. I'll give them something to do, won't it? Hey, what's happened to our graphical glitch? Oh, a confetti suit. That confetti suit. I want that. Who's going to have the confetti suit? Frankie's got a confetti suit. I think Ashcan should have a confetti suit. Ashcan, you can have a confetti suit. We should have given it to... No. Sorry, Ashcan, I've changed my mind. You can have your snazzy suit. Snazzy suit. I want to give it to Harold. Yeah. Better check that Ashcan's still got his suit on. Didn't just ditch it somewhere. Why is that out of power? Heck? No, there must have been a graphical issue. Loads of power. What are you talking about? We've got one suit. And that's for Bubbles. Yeah, I don't think we've got enough suits, do we? Yeah, I think our suits are in a bit of a everlasting spiral now, so we've got to turn off Atmo suit from there so they don't get picked up. Where are our Atmo suits? Are they all coming round here in a perpetual motion machine? I believe they might be. Want to see if it puts it back. Otherwise we will have to just drop them on the floor. It's not assigning them to any spaces, is it? They're all getting the nature reserve bonus though. Yeah, we could do this in reverse. So this is the in-way only. That's the out-way only. Bust through here. They have to run through the nature reserve. Leave, but because everybody who uses that machine goes through the nature reserve anyway, pretty much everybody. Deliver suit. Force it to put one there and there. That one. That should. Our suit's all back then. Got another one. Suit there as well, please. That means more people can actually leave. Excellent. Right, so we need to yeah, we need to come up. We come to here, teleporter and transmitter. Oh. Well, that's weird. I thought I'd already clicked on that. Harold, please get in it. And there are several discussions on whether or not teleporter transmitter actually destroys the individual who gets in it. Bye, Harold. Have fun. Teleport. Hey, the symbol says that's a duplicate, and then that one's deleted. And this one is what's sent. The original isn't the guy who gets sent here. This is our return back. Have a look around and see what we can see while we're here. This is, no, this is the one to receive stuff from the other side. That is good. That's the one we want, isn't it? Yes. That means we need to get down here to this pipe if we can. Now, what materials have we got? Sedimentary rock. Oh, let's dig. That's sedimentary rock. They only got a certain limited amount. Oh, he wants food already. Ah, for flip's sake. Okay, we better send you back. Yeah, I don't need to see the destination. I know where I'm going. It's home. Right, whatever. So we need to come over here, dig these two. The frozen friend. And then we'll send... Where is it? Harold. Everyone says ineligible. I think it takes days to get in it and go back home and have your lunch. I think it'll take a day to reset or something. Unpermitted food and all that. Yeah, because he's teleport. And you can go and get lunch. I shouldn't have done that. That was my bad. We'll send him home. We'll let the charger recharge. How long will it take? Already on 2%, so yeah, we'll leave it. No rush, no rush. Just come down here a bit so that if anything melts up there and drips down here, we don't have liquid going everywhere. Yeah, there's a bit of snow there, get rid of that. So we'll dig down here. There's a piece of ice there too. Sweep that away as well, please. You play, if you don't mind. Yeah, there's chlorine liquid. That way we can cut off this piece here that's in the way. Right, do that. Yeah, there's places to sweep stuff up here as well. that to liquefiable as well if we want. I'd rather they took everything up the other side if possible. This one. Bring it up here. Rid of that ladder out of my way. Get rid of this liquid vent out of my way because it's really annoying. That. Deconstruct all that crap. We can put boxes along here and fill them up with junk. Yeah, that's a point. I think there was liquid in here, wasn't there? Yeah. Ugh. Now we could fill it up with more crude oil to make it higher and then just put a pile there or something and then mop it. You dig down these and then mop that. See if that gets it. Like that. Deconstruct building. Deconstruct. Building. Yeah, do those. We got to try and get these off, but we'll do that when this is dormant. Gotta kind of get in there and do stuff with it. Mop. That off. Yeah, stuff is actually, all this is coming together now. It's all changing shape and design. Like it. So what we'll do, we'll deconstruct another one of those. Yeah, one on that end. While we work our way through all of this junk. That one can go, I guess. This ladder can go right on the side of here. Those four can go. Just we'll do all those three first. This should, oh, that's already erupted. Well, someone else must have got that job. I'll also deconstruct all the gas pipes in that section. Yeah, get rid of those. And what else do we want to deconstruct? Liquid pipes? Any liquid pipes there? Well, it all comes down to this system that's defunct, but I like to kind of at least leave them in situ. I think we'll just drain that one. We can drain it. I don't want to spill it everywhere. I have to mop it up. Yeah, beautiful. We'll also give them a job by extending this out, I think. Yeah, put a loop. Gas pipe. Right through there. Not that far, I think. Straight up here. Bit more down there. There. Let's go a bit closer where they can reach it. Having to build more stuff. Yeah, straight along there seems good. And that piece round, and it'll probably come up. It might reuse this. I don't know. Yeah, why not? Reuse that piece. That's already insulated, so it won't be wasting any of its thermal, or whatever you want to call it, absorption power, heat absorption. Well, this thing's still chunking away very slowly, but I was thinking of altering it, so we're going to alter that stuff. Might let it run, you know, every other day for a bit or something like that. We got some petrol coming out of here. Look at that. Got petrol leaving the machine. I don't know if it's ever cooled this down enough to request any more. Now, is there a counter? There's some sort of automation thing that counts. Automated signal counter, this thing. I'm going to stick that right next to it. Would put it... Oh, we could put it there. Need that steel. I don't know how it works. But I'd just like to see if this is actually fired when I come back to look at it again. I want to know if it's injected any more heat into the system or if that's still just using the heat it had. Well, I don't want to speed the machine up because we've got nowhere to pump the petroleum yet. Doors are busy doing their thing on their timers. Open. Closed. Open. Closed. Open. Closed. Then closed. And then the top one opened. Yeah, that seems to be pretty nice. This liquid's coming back at a nice temperature, so it's not burning our liquid pump anymore. I did have to fix a pipe at the end of the last time, and I moved these back a couple. It's actually quite a lot cooler now. It's 390 dripping in there. Could have it probably forward by one more just to get a bit more heat. But I actually want to see if this triggers, so I want to know if it's triggered. Well, there's a lot in here, isn't there? This is where I just put them for the dumping ground. To stiff them when they die. I want normal Drecos in here more than that. Yeah, I want normal Drecos to have a place to go. Normal Drecos give us reed fibre. These guys only give us plastic. We'll have all the plastic in the universe from all this petroleum we're making. Or we will be making in the future. That's already erupted. 15 cycles. This has got 6 cycles to go, but it goes dormant in 0.7, so it won't ever get to fire. Oh, thanks, Nails. I want to see what that is. Not used these before, so that's the reset counter. Green, increase counter by 1. Red, nothing. Sends a green signal when the counter reaches the selected value, otherwise selects. Also, you can use it to send an output when it gets to a certain number. So, send a green signal when count is reached. What's advanced mode? Oh, percentages. Let's set that to 2,000. No. You set it to 2,000? No. You only go to 10? Oh, well, that's useless. Set counter to 0. Okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to put into there like that, I guess. That's the output signal, but we don't care about that. I just want to see a number when I come back. Oh, that's in the way, isn't it? That is in the way. Put it here. Deconstruct it. Put that automation wire there. That. Construct that thing and put it where I can see the number. No good putting a ladder over it. I can't read it. All right, move it over there, and I'll use that. Hopefully that'll tell me if it's fired or not. That's now got 2,000. We'll fire this one up. Wondering if there was a way of doing it so if this one's running, that one will definitely not run, so they don't both overpower this. So I'll stop this flowing because I think there's a better way of doing it. I deconstruct. Oh, we could leave it. We could leave it. Right. Put in maybe. Got to have at least that much liquid, and the tanker's got to want some crude. Get rid of that and just say yes, you can run anytime you want to run. But this thing puts out. We use the calculated average output. 175.89 grams per second. And I will attempt to find on my phone calculator. There. So 175.89 per second. There are 600 seconds in a cycle, so we'll times it by 600. 105,000 grams. We could make it run. What's that? 100,000 grams is 10,000. One tankful? That doesn't produce that much. That's wrong. I've got to have worked it out wrong. What have I done wrong? That's in grams. I'm thinking in kilos, aren't I? Because there's a one packet. 10 kilograms. That's 10,000 grams. Okay, right. So that's 100. What we want to do, you can run then. Maybe do it with a cycle sensor. Yeah, we could say you could run, but you can only run for say, yeah, a third. Yeah, because we wouldn't need this. That wouldn't be necessary. We could get rid of that. As long as we get the timing right with this sensor, we'd never run more than this thing produces. So it'll always have a certain amount of liquid in here. Theoretically, it is possible. I'll produce a timer? Yeah, I think a cycle sensor would be better. Not out of copper though, crikey. Not in this temperature. So yeah, that's gone dormant again, but every time you click on it says less time, and it will start again in a minute. 24 seconds, 22 seconds, yeah, it'll start running again. Yeah, all this junk on here has got to... No, actually, some of it hasn't. That Bissolite's 40 degrees. Would you build it, please? Actually build it. Then I'll set that to, say, 5 kilos. Not 5 grams, 5,000 grams. Half a pipe. But only for a limited amount of time. Yeah, I think if it ran... We'll see how much it can do in a 10% of the day. The 10% times 10 would be 100,000, wouldn't it, roughly? We'll take it down to 10% of the day. You can activate then. And only then. we'll move it around so that it can do it now. It can start now, so I can see what it's going to do. There we go. That'll actually be enough in the pipe to actually trigger this and make some power out of it, instead of pumping tiny little amounts. Yeah. That seems legit. It'll run through there and it will lose a lot of heat down to at least 125. There you go. Can't get any lower than that because that's all the steam turbines run at, 125. As it gets down to 125, it goes off down here and gets dropped in the tank. Right there. Beautiful. I think that's perfect. That's absolutely exactly what I wanted. What are you getting out of here? There's something in here that you're picking up. Okay, fair enough. I'll pick it up. It's all right. And then it's getting pumped up here. Tiny amounts at the moment because we have nowhere for the... we've already filled 2 tanks of petrol. Got nothing to do with it. We will make plastic, but not yet. Not yet. I check the temperature in here. Yeah, things are warming up. Slowly. Ep47. It will get more and more efficient as these warm up. That's 206, 205. Yeah, they'll warm up quite high. Could have got rid of that. Didn't even need it. It could have just been a tile. Never mind. Done it now. I mean, it's possible we could dig up sideways or something and dig that out, but it's full of water, so it's all steam. That was going to be how we would sense the temperature, but this is way more accurate. That says 0, so now that's plugged into there. So when this triggers and opens this door, I think it should add counter of 1 to that. Force it to go, but I don't want to. I want it to trigger it by itself because it needs the heat. Not getting the heat long enough. This triggers 20 seconds. Maybe we could lower the 20 seconds to say 15. More likely to trigger. But I do think it needs a fail-safe in case it triggers but it doesn't get any heat for some reason. Then if it triggers but it doesn't get any heat, it would automatically sort of pulse that again. Yeah, it needs to pulse this again. Doesn't get any heat, so we need to carry this signal out and build another simplified thing over here that is held in stasis. And maybe a timer would be perfect. Can you disable a timer though by powering it or something? I don't think you can because it's got no other options. It just works all the time. So you couldn't use that. You could use... use a gate one. Or a memory toggle. No, you don't need a memory toggle. Outputs a green signal if one of the inputs is green. Outputs a red signal if both neither inputs are green or both are green. That's not going to be useful. Memory toggle. Contains a memory which will output whatever signal is stored in the memory. Signals sent to the memory to the inputs only affect the memory and do not pass through. Sending a green signal to set the port will set the memory to green. I don't think that will do what I want it to do either. There's got to be a way of using one of these cycle sensors, but blocking the output. Reaching that pulsar. I want to block the output from getting there. Every time it goes green, it's going to send a trigger the pulse, and I don't want to do that. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to go... Could use another filter, but set to a longer time. So that filter's set to a short time. That filter would be set to a longer time. No, that's cancel. I was going to run that from this same signal here. We need it to be is from this signal, don't we? We then have another one there. That signal passes through to the pulsar and makes the pulse. That would then also continue. It only lets green through if it's received a green. So this then goes green. That then goes green. And if it's then still doesn't get any heat after, say, another 30 seconds, it could then trigger it again. Yeah, because otherwise that won't reset. We need it to reset. But that won't put out any signal until, say, we'll make it a real high number, like 60 seconds. So if that's gone and it's triggered this has gone 20 seconds and it's triggered this, and it for some reason doesn't get any heat, and after another 60 seconds on top of that, 20, still doesn't get any heat, this will then trigger it again. I think it will just reset it. We might have to have another one that actually sets the signal. I think we may do. Getting more complicated, but it's interesting. I'd like to see it run. So we'll see. This is on 0 and it still hasn't had any 841 degrees. And running it very, very slow, so it will take a long time before it ever needs to jam anymore. But we've done 2.5 tanks and it hasn't even tried to get any more temperature yet. It's only going to get more and more efficient as time goes by. At least we've got a decent amount of magma in here now, and it should fill up. That's going to go dormant anytime now. And this one is now our active one. Temperature through here. This thing hasn't closed in ages. Door is 592 degrees anyway. It's working lovely, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Okay, well, we'll double check. We'll just make sure it's not coming through too hot. It's actually coming through a bit cooler now. I think we can afford to maybe snip that and go on by 1. Cancel any builds. Let it run and snip that off. Oh, I think you could automate it. You could have temperature sensors along here and a whole row of those, what are they called? These things? No, the other ones, the automatable ones. And the plumbing, isn't it? The liquid shutoffs. You could probably automate it. Bunch of steel liquid shutoffs all the way along here, all set to increasing temperatures. And then as soon as it gets too hot, one of them locks off and the next one works. Earlier one works to stop it getting too hot when it gets there. Could do that. Could try that actually. It's worth a try. Oh, it's kind of an experiment in so we could have a sensor here, say, on this one. Saying if it's too hot, then trigger the thing that's over here. Yeah? What I mean by that is putting one of these things on the pipe here. And of course, if it's not running, the liquid will just pass through it and carry on going, wouldn't it? If it's active, if it's powered and on, and the automation says yes, use it. You could put a, what's it called? Liquid pipe. I think it's on the plumbing then. Liquid pipe thermosensor. made of steel. Pop that on there. Right. And then have the liquid shut off. Plumbing. Liquid shut off over here. Or a bit further up maybe, or wherever. You know. You have multiple of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have 4 sensors and 4 of those shut-offs. I'd like to try it. Yeah, it's a bit warm in there when you're stood in the liquid. 405 degrees. Pretty warm. But it's got to get cold enough for that to try and close and not get enough temperature. Which is just, it's never going to happen. It's so hot. Well, it is going down. It is going down, to be fair. Right. So then that's going to say nothing, no pipe. There's no liquid in the pipe, so it's on minus whatever. But that's a problem, isn't it? When that works, this would get no liquid in the pipe and stop working. Stop sensing. How would it know when to go back again? You have to have another temperature sensor somewhere else telling it that it can reset. That would bear some thinking about. I will actually I'll not do that. I'm going to deconstruct it for now. While I think about it, there's got to be a way of doing that. Where you could just sense the temperature, and if it's too hot, use a different one of these pipes automatically. Have it all connected along to there, and have them up along here. And if it gets too hot by the time it gets there, it uses a different one. I'd rather sweep that out. Bit of steel. This temperature seems to have gone back up again. Do you remember that was 700 or something a minute ago? Now it's 814 degrees. It's getting magic heat from somewhere. Sweep that steel away then, and then we'll lock the door. Don't want anyone coming in here for any reason. This petroleum is 190 degrees. It's definitely getting slightly warmer. Anyone coming to get that? You can put sweep only, yeah. Sweep only steel. Just put it in there for me, just so you've got somewhere to put it. Make sure you come and get it out of the machine. Don't like leaving stuff in my machines. Bad. Come on, somebody. Bit of obsidian there to sweep as well. If we come back, we should see if this machine has pulsed. Be interesting. Right. Turn that off again. I want to just double check the temperature of this. Yeah. Go forward one more, I think. Not pushing it too much. We can go forward one more. You want it as close to 1,000 degrees as possible. 1,000? No, as close to 400. 399.9 is its flash point, but you get a couple of degrees leeway. So if it gets to about 401 in the pipe, it's going to burst in the pipe. And you don't want that. You want it to drip in here and then flash to petroleum. See what that crumb is at now. 890. The door is about 836. I think that keeps getting hotter and hotter. It's so crazy. I'm not sure. It hasn't dropped any magma down. It seems to be getting hotter. Still on 0. Oh, where's that power? Yeah, that's a bit of power. Let's do that. That was for the door. Perfect. That seems to be running nicely. That's locked now. Technically not locked. 392 is a nice number. 395 is better. But then it's getting close. And if I'm not going to be paying attention because we were going to be over the other island place. Keep that steel away. I might just, while they're not doing things, I'll lock that. They say love deconstruct orders. Stuff that they can reach. Really? But he's screaming outside. It's that liquid pipe. Yeah, we'll get rid of this now. Nice to there, but it's not. We have a sweep job for liquid fireball. We do. We'll get rid of all the liquid fireballs that may be there. Here. And oh, that needs mopping again, doesn't it? Mop that. Anything that's liquefiable must be got rid of. And yeah, those are chocker full. I thought they might be. 2 more can go in. Because they're sweep only, they won't pick that back up and put it back inside. It's fine. Mop that if you can. Mop that if you can. Well, that's not on the floor, but when they start mopping it, it will be. Dig that out. Got our ladders over to there. Already get into this one. This is perfect. That out. All of that will pull down here. This guy can be wrangled. Take him. You don't need to live your life there, do you, pal? No. No, you don't. We'll just have a piece of sand because we don't want anything else. Yeah, this is starting to generate a bit of power now. We've already made 2,000 steel there. And our tank is filling up rather rapidly, isn't it? Look at that. So let's see if that's working. I want to place something there that will remind me of the liquid height. Put a ladder there. I know it's a tiny bit under there. 10% a day might not be enough. Run out what that produces. %of 600 is 60. So 60 seconds it would be running 10k per second. No, 5k because we put it halved. I have to add that up and work it out. We can do it fairly accurately, I think. Have they put all these pipes in? They have. So let's decide on the route this is going to take around. So this comes out here. Nice and cool. Comes round here, down, goes through these tanks, back up, round, down here. We could have it come down here, cross down, across all this, round up. Can't reach this piece. You remember what I was doing. And come round this way, come up here, round, and then going back to that. And how does it get to go through here? Because it would have missed that out, wouldn't it? Still got to go around here to get cooled off. Does it really need to go around here anymore? Well, I suppose the tanks are useful. So we could come down this way. Cool all of this down, cool all of that down, come back up here. Round and join that, but instead of coming back up here, it needs to really go in, doesn't it? So it needs to come this way. then up to there. Then that would be bridge. Down here, that would be a bridge. Round down here, this would be a bridge. Around here, up here, and that will get built. That will be a bridge, and a bridge too far. There we go. Build all of that junk. More pipes everywhere. Yes, please fix that. Ah, good. That's lovely. I do want that piece got rid of, please. Just a horrible thing sticking out. Doesn't need to be there. That's never been used, so let's just deconstruct it. And they can build stuff, and they'll be happy because they like building stuff. At the moment, while we have an input from down the bottom, we have a flow through this tile which fills this tank. But when that pump from the bottom is stopped, then we're not going to have anything incoming, which is not good. Not a good situation. Yeah. We might have to make a leading sour gas boiler or something just to get rid of it all. Yeah. We got another volcano over here. Oh, there it is. We could use him to make our sour gas boiler. Yeah, that seems like fun. Also activate that, somebody. Is our teleporter reworking again now? Still recharging. Ugh. That was my bad. I messed that up. Build that. Got so much slime, and we've got slime coming from space. We should make a mushroom farm. Good. We should. Put that. No, that doesn't need to be up a bit. It'll give them something to do later when they get bored. Deconstruct that then. I don't know where we're going to put our ladders in, but let's just whack a ladder across here. There, whack one up there and down there. Oops. Seems legit. I don't know. We'll tidy up all these pipes, I think. Liquid pipes need to go. They're a bit straggly. Gas pipes are a bit straggly. They can go as well. Yeah, that's fine. We'll bust that down to, Baton Rouge or somewhere. Yeah, there we go. We can get rid of that tile now. I think, hang on. Tile. Yeah, it is measured as deconstruct. I just can't see it. Hopefully there's nothing liquefiable anymore. I think we got rid of all that. Yeah, you can come through this way now. Oh, no, I don't want that. I want the ladder. Okay. And you can deconstruct all of this. Not that. Don't deconstruct him. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can get rid of all of that. And that. And yeah, it'll all fall down like a toy soldier. Perfect. Like a toy soldier. Rid of all this junk. So satisfying getting rid of all this junk. Deconstruct. And I do want to sweep up all this polluted water as well. Take it somewhere. Ooh, speaking of which, our tanks are full in the base. Yeah, we need to deposit one of these tanks out of here before this becomes a problem. Now, what we do have in place is a liquid vent into our main water tank. So as long as we make sure, get rid of that bridge. Glad that reminded me. So we can deconstruct. These pipes can all go now. These old pipes. Relics of a bygone era. They can all go. Get what we can reach out of there. Can't reach that one. That. We will get it out, but not yet. This tank can go, I guess. Yeah. What did I build out? Probably gold amalgam or copper or something. Yeah, there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to say this tank is water. You know, there's no bacteria in it. It's out of toilets, but it's clean because we built this chlorine-based wonder bath. If we go to gas, the bottom is mostly chlorine. As long as chlorine is on the bottom left of the tank, it will kill the bacteria that's in that tank. Very slowly, it will kill them off. Boom, now that tank's clean. This tank has still got some germs they're killing off. Because every time someone has a pee or a poo, it kind of flows around. And some of this comes out to refill whatever machine was just used, toilet, bathroom, whatever. What we need it to do is not add any more water for a minute. So that stays perfectly clean. Don't want any germs in it. Now we can't get in here. So actually what we'll do instead, we'll stop the water adding to that tank. This tank can still be connected and can still refill these machines. That way we know that this tile will get replaced. We know the bit in there is clean. Coming from this tank, which is clean. Coming from this tank is nearly clean. And hang on, now it is really close to being clean. 20 grams of food poisoning. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gone. So we've deconstructed that from our toilets, and that's going to start dripping in here, which is very bad news. I really don't want it to do that. That's the overflow. That's what it's supposed to be for. That's what it's there for. This is all bacteria. It's all full of food poisoning because it's toilet water. But this is a full tank. Could be a full tank. Clean water. Make sure that's nice and clean. Topped up. Disconnected it from there. We can't get in this room. This room is sealed. I just want to make sure that that is one full tank of clean and make sure these two are definitely clean. And we're going to now pump it this way. To join to that, we're going to cancel any builds. We don't need to build anything. Nip it off there. We'll run it over here. And we'll join it somehow to this pipe so it drains out. And we can do that here very easily. Snip, snip. We don't need to snip that one, sorry. We can just come down like that. Yep, snip. I'd rather join it here. That way, if anything happens to the pipe, it doesn't appear. Chunk doesn't appear in there. Now we can empty this tank out. And as long as I know that it's clean and there's no bacteria in it, it will drop in there and it won't bacterial pollute. And we've just got to hope that we can do it quick enough before this machine backs up with polluted water. So, just drain it out. Might snip off the shower. No, the shower just uses what it takes, sort of thing. It's the toilets that actually give you back slightly more water than you used. We'll just keep our eye on it. We can't go far then, because we've got to keep our eye on that. Could empty 2 tanks out, but what are we going to use in the meantime? That feeds into there, doesn't it? No. That comes out of there and feeds into. And then that refills. Okay, fine. What we could have done. Probably good. We've got a little random bit of pipe from there. We could do some sneaky with the pipe work. Use this overflow not being used. I'm beginning to formulate a plan. Because if we snipped off this one, yeah, we added that water to there. That's bad because that's got to add in. That's got to add into here. Yeah, that's got to add into this. Can't really override that. We could from this one. Could we? Is there a way of joining that to that pipe? I don't think we can reach it. I was wondering if we could reach it. And then have it just sort of like separate that, connect it so that it connects to here and feeds the water into the system. And this tank or this tank. Then we can't get the polluted water that's coming out of it into there now. We just got to let it run. Let it drain, let it drain. What we could do is drop it down to this pipe and run through there. And then use this pipe from a different tank, maybe. No, because it doesn't go far enough. We'd have to be able to get to there to drain this tank. Bring that out to there and just put that down like that, and then this wouldn't be being used. I don't know if it's worth it though. The time we take to do it. And that would have to be reconnected here. And we'd need some way of getting to one of these vents somewhere. We'll put another one in. Like that sort of thing. It's only temporary to empty these. They last for ages. I mean, that's been pretty much since the beginning of the game we built this. One of the first episodes. There should be no germs in it, and we're just draining it out. They still need to use toilets, so we need to make sure this can run without backing up. Well, there's a bit stuck in this pipe. I think it's because it can't backwards. It can't go backwards. As long as this pipe is clear, we can feed most of it to this plant. Oh, yes. It's all right in temperature. It's irrigation. That's good. Okay. Only gets irrigation when someone uses the toilet. Can feed the water to the nasty plant. Oh, we could put another couple of plants here, actually, then. We could, couldn't we? Yes, we could. So instead of it feeding the overflow and dropping it in here, we'll get rid of that. That was from the beginning of the game. We needed something, somewhere to dump water in an emergency. We use another couple of these things. One right there. I won't put them there because then when you destroy them, they get... can you get rid of that, Ellie? Please, somebody. So desperate for work, look. And we'll connect that up again. And then that's the overflow. So here comes the clean water out of that, but it's got germs in it. So if I click on that, as it goes in the tank, it's clean water with germs in. Or as in opposed to polluted water that's clean. Yeah, confusing or what? You'll probably have to run this coolant pipe over here because this might be too much for it, but we'll get another couple of these plants. Hang on. Copy settings and we'll run them in like that. And there's a bit more sandstone to sweep up. Here we go. Now our overflow, instead of dripping into this little room, should be fed to these two plants instead. Body temperature. What's wrong with your body temperature? 20.5, 20.6, 20.7, 20.8. Yeah, he's going up. They're going up. They're getting warmer. It's warmer in here. Yeah, it should be okay. In order to stop this anymore, we'll just brick it up. Hey, get the hell out. Devon, you're going to block yourself in. Devon, get the heck out and now build it. No, don't go down there. Devon. Devon. Don't build it. Go away. The hell away. Something else. Life. Come on. Devon. Haven't you got any sweeping up to do? I've left some sweep jobs. Okay, let's sweep. Sweep all of this crap out. Yeah, no. Sweep it all. Sweep all of that. Now you've got jobs to do. You can go away and do them, can't you? Sweep that out. Build that. Hopefully they can sweep that out and get out before someone builds it. What's wrong with you? Irrigation. Well, yeah, that's true. You've used all your water up, haven't you? Well, that's true. Instead of bricking that up, cancel that. That's a silly thing to do. Cancel that. Let's put a pump in here and feed it to the plants. Get rid of it. Plumbing, mini pump. Just you mini one. Mini pump. Mini pump, mini pump. Mini liquid pump. There you are. I can't see for looking. Right. And I'm presuming it comes out of the top, but get rid of that vent. Yeah, we'll deconstruct you. And eventually it will get to the point where it feeds them water with food poisoning in. Once it does that, we'll fix it. If it can't handle, there's too much liquid coming in, this takes over, but it only does half a pipe. It does 5,000 per second. Anything more than that will go over this bridge and through here and feed into these plants. Power. Can we just power that, please? Not like that, like this. Yeah, power that. This liquid pipe back. We've separated the two for now so we can pump this water just into that one. Polluted water. But when it gets to the water, it'll jam that up, so I don't want to ruin that one. This tank's nearly empty. We've been pumping it all into here. And there should be no germs in there at all. Yeah, it's getting a bit overflowed, so it's stifling itself. Raise that up by one. I'll put one there. Gonna add one. Do that one. Might not be necessary, but yeah, as long as it's getting out, as this floods out. This one doesn't say it's over pressure. This one's at this. No, that's at this height. Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll have to raise the height of that. Otherwise, we're not going to drain our tank. I want it drained empty. There you go. We can pump that polluted into a plant before it decides it's too hot, too cold, or whatever the bling problem is. And we'll clean up this tiny little room we invented at the beginning of the game. So, how are the toilets going? Are they still flowing okay? This is where the polluted comes through. Some of it gets fed into this plant, and some of it goes into the water sieve. But when it comes through full packets like that, the water sieve can't handle them. But it gives you a little free bit of reed fibre at the beginning of the game. Nice way to do it. Just one plant. Don't give any space here for tiles and pipes. Have it right off the edge of the pipe so there's nowhere for the water to sit in a pipe waiting to be fed into it. Do it like that, then you'll always have enough water for your toilets, and the plant will only take whatever's going past at that time. So it'll spend a lot of its time saying that it's got no water to grow with, like this one's saying irrigation. But unfortunately, they're also fussy plants temperature-wise. They like 22 to 37, so they get hot very easily. Especially on maps like this that get hot quickly. Our tank is now finally empty. We can snip that off. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Snip that. Reconnect it to there. And we can reconnect these. We now have a whole tank's worth of leeway. Oh, let's cancel that. We'll probably come back and empty another tank into it in a bit. Because it's time consuming and annoying. Yeah, so we'll leave that one eating all this polluted. It'll take a little while for it to eat it, but that'll get rid of that polluted problem. I don't want to let that out in here because this polluted is clean. Clean polluted, as opposed to polluted. which has got food poisoning in it. But I like to clean it with a system of tanks with chlorine because quite often at the beginning of the game, this is your supply of clean water in the base. So if you've got machines that you want to feed a bit of water to, like these easy to get soda fountains, to give your troops or your dupes a little bit of morale, then that's a good way of adding the water to it. You can just have a little spine coming off your toilets, the clean water supply to the toilets, and go into your drinks machine or whatever, your coffee machine. But if you have it direct with no chlorine cleaning solution, then the water that's in this pipe, although it looks clean, will actually be germy clean water. And every time your dupes drink from the drinks fountain or whatever, you'll be getting problems. Dupes getting sick all the time. In order to avoid that, build yourself something like this. Now, the better design, but I threw this together too fast, the better design is 5 of these tanks. If you have 5 tanks and one of them is full of liquid, the time it takes for the water to pass from tank to tank to tank, it's clean. Usually, it's already clean by the time it gets to the 5th tank. As long as you've got one full tank, should be all right. Once it starts backing up onto the 4th tank, or the 2nd, depending on which way around you're looking at it. But with only 3 tanks, this is getting polluted from this one. When it runs, when someone flushes the loo, clean water will come in here, but it's only a sieve. It doesn't kill the bacteria, so germy clean water. And that will pass to this tank and pass to this tank. Bad. Don't want that. If you've got 5 tanks in a row and this end one is full, should be good. It should be good. And the only stuff that will get fed into the system will be clean water. Bacteria, no germs. Oh, that's sweet. That's done. Yeah, this outside pump now does this section, which is a bit weird. Okay, so yeah, I don't like that. It looks a bit weird, and we don't need the cooling down here, I don't think. We only cooled this area because we were sweeping to this spot, and some of the stuff we were sweeping was pretty darn hot. How come you're all idle when I set all the sweep jobs? Did you sweep all that already? Yeah, they did. They are so desperate for work to do. It's unbelievable. Along here then, sweep all this crap. That'll give you something to do, won't it? What have you not got anywhere to put? Abyssalite. Well, let's put you a box then, somewhere to store abyssalite in. Put a box right there. Now, you can put abyssalite in there as much as you want. And then we'll sweep where we're going to sweep. We'll sweep out in here. We'll sweep up there. We'll sweep all this. Sweep all that. Sweep everywhere. Just stop them standing around annoying. Standing around everywhere. There we go. There's loads of red bits, but yeah, at least there's a good thing about sweeping as well is it helps your frame rate. So we'll just do all of this junk. There we go. That gives us something to do, doesn't it? And it's all on a 5, so hey, we could sweep in here, but this is really hot. I don't want to sweep that. Oh, there's a job to do as well. Hey. That should be for, oh, he's gone up here. Harold went up there. He moved. Bedroom. Yeah, we want to deconstruct all this crap as well. Did they sweep all the stuff that can melt? That's the main thing. Is there nowhere for wart seeds to go? Sweep. No, there is. We'll mop that. We'll mop, that was, no, that's not mop. Mop that. Can't mop that. So what we're going to do is deconstruct it. If it spreads out, we'll be able to mop it, won't we? Yes, we will. And then we're going to sweep all this. We're going to need to make an abyssalite storage spot. Isn't going to be dangerous. I reckon up here on this stuff. Because if we deconstruct those ladders, there's nothing running through there, is there? No liquid, no. No rails, no. Gas pipes, no. We dig all that out. We can put some on this obsidian insulated tiles. So if it is a bit hot, have a nap, won't you, Devon? I'll put everything up here as well. That's all right. As long as it's not hot, that's the thing. I don't want hot stuff. Hey, bought a transmitter is ready for Harold to come back and have another go. He's the only one without a hat, so I know which one it is now. That should stop them having problems at the doorway because they've actually got stuff to do. They're just standing at the doorway, blocking the entrance. Harold, let's teleport you. Well, let's make a duplicate of you. Delete you, and we'll send the duplicate. A duplicate of a duplicate. Right. Well, see, I like the way he appears, and then he appears. Like, weird. But okay, we got sedimentary rock, and we need a ladder. We'll make the ladder out of sedimentary rock. We're going to have to come down there, which means we need a chicane. We will cancel this ladder because we don't have enough materials to build that. We'll come down here. We'll let him build that. Hi, Pip. We'll come down here and just let this drain out because I don't want that all coming inside our miniature little base area. Hopefully we can get this built before we need to go to bed. But just in case there's a problem with that. Furniture. Make yourself a bed in, this room. And make yourself a dinner table. Dinner table, food. No. Mess table. We haven't got any metals yet. You can't. Once you got some cobalt, you'll be alright. I think eventually we'll just have this ladder come straight down here. But for now, we're going to have to dig inwards. Dig inwards like that. Dig inwards like that. Yeah, it's nearly bedtime, I think, unless you're on the other shift. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Yeah. Do those four so we can get a bit of cobalt ore. Then drop another ladder. Where are we going to drop it from? There. But we're going to build that furniture now. Mess table. I want to put it right there. Be on a higher priority, so you're going to build that. At least then you won't get the debuff. They're not brilliant rooms, but it's a barracks and it'll be a, what is it called? Mess hall? Yeah, mess hall. Yeah, a bit of morale, but not a huge amount. But, you know, you have been reset, so. Got cobalt ore here. I need to say cobalt ore. Cobalt ore. We can get trees. Oh, yeah, let's have trees. We started making tree farm in the other place. Harold. Harold. We go to schedule. Harold is on day shift. He's now going on nights. I'd rather he went on the midday shift, which is just finishing bedtime. It'll really annoy him and mess up his body clock. We're going to move Harold. I'll let him finish eating his calories. I don't want him going to bed yet. How long does it take to chew? Now, Harold, you've got to go back to work. You're going to be tired. Oh, you need toilet. Oh, great. You're going to pee in your suit. That's all right. Fine. Pee in your suit. Just hurry up because you're going to run out of air in your suit. If you click on him, it should say is not his bio, but his no. Bio, no. Your bio, Bedcock, Atmos suit. Atmos suit. Oxygen tank, 37.8 kilos. Oxygen remaining. I believe that's oxygen remaining and not the weight of the suit. It might be the weight of the suit, but I don't think so. Golding threshold, 726 degrees. Insulation plus 50. It implies that they're building some more at a later date. You know what? Just dig it out. Crack on with it, mate. Just crack on. I don't think you can get through there, but if you can, that will be grand. Could just send him back and let him have a sleep and everything. Go and help sweeping up because he'll be able to get in here next time and build the yeah, he's going to need toilets and everything. Oh well, I didn't think of toilets. We got mud, we got dirt. Toilet. Medicine, isn't it? Yeah, no, that's a good toilet. Under medicine, isn't it? I think. Decontamination shower outhouse. There we go. Worst place to put it. There's no door on it, no hand washing facilities, nothing. At least you can take a poop. I don't know whether to carry on digging through here. Oh, he's made a mess. Too late. Don't bother. Feeding his suit. We'll find somewhere for him to take his suit off and deposit his delicious goodness that he's made a mess of. Fact, I've got a perfect place for him to ditch his suit. Just here. He ditches his suit there, digs down a couple. He can drop his suit off and leave all his polluted water here. This is polluted water, but it's not got any germs in it. But if you dig that out, and when you take your suit off, it will land on here, so I'll still be able to pick it up and put it back on again, but it will empty out. Yeah. That'll be perfect. Then he can run his pipe from here, up here somewhere, put a vent on the end. Yeah, he's allowed in here now. I'm going to let you do this. Got to be on the ladder when you take your suit off, so it drops down there. You move to there and unequip suit. Suit will drop. Nasty liquid will pour out of it with food poisoning in it. Then we can say Atmos suit. Oh, what's his name again? Harold, are you at the top? Should be at the top. Get back on. He's so popped eardrums. Wow, what's the pressure like in here? It's high, it's very high. Well, you're good. You don't even need to wear it, really. So, ventilation. Gas pipe made of sedimentary, because that's what we have. Come out here. Come up here. Go around like that. Come into here. Come up by one. Then we'll come in. We'll stick a vent on the end. There we go. Stick a vent also. Even though it's high pressure, we'll stick a vent there. Well, at least we can pipe stuff to it now. And if I stick on here and I go activate, there's a local colony lacks field research skill. What I might get him to do, being as he's already popped his eardrums now anyway, move to here. Excuse me, Harold. He's loading things. Please. And unequip your suit right there. That's it. Yeah, he's already popped his eardrums anyway. So what harm is it going to do now, huh? Let's tile that in. That's really nasty gas. I think that's where he's getting all his sedimentary from, because it dropped down here though, so we're probably better off not doing that. Let him build his pipes. He'll suddenly start moaning that he's idle. Let's go back over to here. This is charging up. It's already on 14%. Bad, is it? Let's sweep. Not mop. Sweep. Junk up. That piece there can go. Some of this crap can go. Along there can go. And I want some of these. Make them out of obsidian. We'll put 3. We'll put 4 here. And they'll be for abyssalite that we sweep up. There's a lot of red things here that I think is abyssalite. There's a blob of something nasty right there that needs clean up. Please. Clean up on aisle 4. And get rid of all that. What's there? Is that a liquid pipe? Yeah, it is. That was from before. Well, we'll just get rid of it now. Get rid of all this pipes. Get rid of that up to there. Get rid of all those pipes. That one can go. Can go. See what you can reach. I don't know what you can reach. But there's lots to do, and I don't see why Lindsay is complaining she got no work when probably because there's no suits left or something. I don't know. But we got plenty of oxygen for the suits coming in at 45 degrees. Oh yeah, we can set this loop off and see if it works. So it's got to come in this way. Just check that it's built. Follow it round, make sure there's no holes before we connect it. And then it goes back into there. Yeah, excellent. And that saves it having to go that way. Click something, so now it's back at 21 and then going in there, whatever. Don't build those pipes. That's a big empty space, but you know, he's got some extra in here to fill the gaps. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Gonna come back down here again to our patch. That's done it nicely. Good job. I want to mop all that before I sweep anything. Well, I do want to sweep it as well, but you know, I don't want anything dropping down. A lot of abyssalite here that could be. That doesn't really need to be swept. As long as we don't sweep in here, we're good, because this is hot. Deconstruct all of that on a 5, yes please. Not all of it, but just the background buildings, please. Not that ladder. Yeah, I've got loads to do. Get on with it. Get on with your work. There's one random temp shift plate there. Go away. That should give them something to get their teeth into. Stop them standing around on the doorway. Sweep! How much have we achieved in here? That's the wrong button. Yes, yep. 6,887.5 and constantly rising, even though we're using 4 pumps at a time out of it. We're taking out 2,000 if they're full packets, full pipes. Each one of these is 1,000 grams, but these things produce 888, and there's 4 of them. Theoretically, we should be taking Yeah, we're not taking quite as much because this never stops, and the atmosuit one does stop and start. The airflow to the base, I mean, yeah. As you open it up to space and stuff, you lose a bit of oxygen out to space, but it's so slow. Like this area, I didn't even bother bricking it up. When I first started playing, I was bricking it up. Oh my god, we're going to lose all our atmosphere, but it's so slow. Now let's go back to Ugita. Harold's having a nap on the floor here. Got popped eardrums, sore back, yucky lungs, and he's exhausted. But he did build himself a bed, so I don't know why he didn't get in it. He can perfectly easily get around, but he didn't. So it's his problem, isn't it? We will now have to get one of those. No, we don't have to, I don't think. I'm going to say we got to build one of those mini pods. The problem with these mini pods is you can't delete them. So wherever you put it when you first arrive, that's where it's stuck. Ah, that's the other one there, look. He probably just fell asleep because he was exhausted because I changed his shift. That's probably what it is. Well, unfortunately, I do have to get to a shop before it closes. Yeah, all our shops close here in the UK. Ugh, they shut. My local shop shuts very soon, so I will have to out what I'm doing here and get cracking. Like trees, arbor trees. Yeah, on the previous playthrough, we started making a massive tree farm. No other reason than we could. There's some kind of water. Ethanol pockets on this one. Excellent. I like ethanol. Tank of water there. We can get to it without contaminating it. We could use that. Yeah. We could now, instead of draining into this one, if we cut through here, drained it into here, this water, into this side, and we could probably drop a ladder down here and get access to that water. So if we want bathrooms and all the nice mod cons from the other place brought over here, we might end up, once we've established a little area here, these guys are cool. We made a massive farm of these on the other time as well. So if I go to power, they provide power while they're sleeping. They actually have battery connections. So 2 down from where they hang, you put a wire, and then when they sleep, they provide you with power. But they eat metal, so they're only worthwhile building. Right. Now we need to give Harold, because I want him to do this. He needs local colony, lacks field research skills. So we go to research. We need, no, we go to skills. And we go to, where is he? The only one without a hat on. Oh, he's in a different land. Okay. Field research. So he needs those 2 points. Right? Now he can do the job. Now, because there's no mini pod here, he just instantly gets the skill and is able to do it. Can activate that. Can we get to the other one and get him to activate that before he goes? Probably not. But this one is useful because we can send food from the other place, so he doesn't need to make any. Right. Perfect. Put your suit back on. And go home. Why are you at the top when I'm at the bottom and at the bottom when I'm at the top, huh? Awkward, aren't you, Harold? Yeah, you can get home. You can get to your toilets and stuff. Don't you panic. Leaving the game again. And now, because he's activated that and we already had the pipes wired up, starts pumping oxygen automatically. We already had it set up from the other place. If we go back to Lavini, we buzz over to wherever that pipe was. There it is. See, it's bumping up and down like that. Pumping oxygen from our main oxygen supply to the base. It's sending some over there. What's useful to do, I think we'll do, is stick in a tank. Just have an extra tank of oxygen right here. What do we want? A bit of rock. I don't know how big they are. I've forgotten. Are they too tall? No, that's perfect. Stick that there and we'll fill a tank and then feed it from the tank. That way this can be running when... Because now, look at it. Used up all the solid packets and now it's... that. Oh, hang on. Still in there. Teleport. Sorry, Harold, I forgot about you. Put him in and thought he'd gone, but he hadn't. Now he's going to pee himself somewhere useful. Go, run, don't pee. That thing's going to be murderized. Slide down the pole, quick, quick, quick. You can get in. Take your suit off without peeing everywhere this time. Run. Yay, no liquid. Every now and again you'll get a little bit of gas in the suit when it's worn and they deposit it here, and then slowly over time you end up with a gas bottle building up with tons and tons of oxygen. That's alright. When you build your first rocket you can just fill it with oxygen from that. The problem is it doesn't stop pumping out when it's overpressured, so it will continue. Kind of annoying. Right, is this locked? This should be locked here to stop them bringing the obsidian in. These four are going to be for obsidian. Miscellaneous... No, not obsidian, abyssalite. Settings. Now, they've all gone, all the red ones have gone white. There's lots of places. There's still some things that can't be swept, but it's difficult to find out what they are. Salt water. Yeah, we were putting salt water in here, but it nearly overflowed. That's now over pressure, and I stopped that from being used. Are we actually running any water? We are running water from this, but very, very slowly. Just bypasses that tank and feeds straight into the machine. We're not storing it up. The only water we store up is coming from that over there. I'd like to have more of it, but we've only got that much. And this much from this one. We have got another one over here somewhere, I think. In here? No, it's not in there. It's further down then. My muppet, you've lost. Yeah, perhaps that was it. The one I'm thinking of, yeah. So Harold's back home. We can now pop over there and have a look. We don't need crops. That's just going to be annoying. So let's go see all. We can breathability, I suppose I'll leave on, but crops, no. Food I'll leave on, and stress I'll leave on, I guess. What about down here? Seal sources. No. I will leave that to recharge. We won't send anyone over. There's a frozen friend in this cryo tank. We can defrost him, but there's no idea what he's like. Got no way of telling what he's like. And we've already got 18 dupes. We're going to get another one from that room there, 19. So if we defrost the friend, that's our 20 quotient. Get rid of that. I don't want you. I've changed my mind. Thanks. I was going to use that for steel because it's out of range of this sweeper. Tube controlled only. How are we doing pumping liquid from down below? Yeah, this is so crude here. Let's go all the way down, down, down. We'll carry on straight. Oh crikey, it's still got loads. Oh word. This is even not in the road anymore. Ah. Deconstruct a couple of these. Deconstruct a couple of those. No. Side. This side. That got rid of that little pocket of carbon dioxide, but we never did pump this to a vacuum anyway. Tempted to bust this open, put a little mini pump in here, but it's 1,000 degrees in here, so a mini pump will melt. Bad idea. You gonna erupt? Yeah, you are. What about you? Are you gonna erupt soon? Yeah. Ooh, 22 seconds. I like watching them erupt. It's my little treat for me. Let's watch. It's probably not going to erupt in 22 seconds. It's probably going to erupt in 15 cycles or something. Oh no, it's going now. This one's pouring off this edge quite nicely, isn't it? Not like that other one up the top. Perhaps we need to lower it and give it more space underneath. Twelve tiles long, yeah. So a normal, if you leave a 1 tile gap, magma will spread 10 tiles. We should have made these 10 tiles long. Know that it will pour off the edge. But it just means that this end will be a bit higher. There won't be just 1 tile's worth of magma. There'll be a little bit extra. Look at that. I like it. It kind of worked because it's raising the level here on this side. Panicked a bit and sort of bricked up this and came in here way earlier than I ever needed to. I mean, we can put pitcher pumps up here. We would have to raise the levels to 3 high. We could put pitcher pumps here and have a mesh tile floor. And we could come down here, scoop out this magma and pour it in up here and just let it flow down. Because it's so viscous, it would fill up this area rather than flowing back under here so much. Would flow back under there a bit, but nowhere near as much. Now you got loads of sweeping to do. Shouldn't have complained about not having any work. Now you got all the work in the universe. Let's check this. Oh yeah, this wire goes all the way up here. Let's deconstruct. Should have got that one sticking up. Yes, it did. And we'll just have this all swept and then we'll put all that on there and have to sweep it again. Yeah, that'll keep the dupes busy, give them something to run around at. But we're already half filled. Well, not half filled because I put an extra one at the end. We had 8 tanks, now we've got 9. Even just running at this tiny, tiny speed of 2,000. We have a number on there yet? No. Still hasn't fed anything through as far as I can tell. Still on 826 degrees. It seems like it goes down to about 790 or something. Then it suddenly decides to squeeze a bit more heat out of that igneous. That's crazy. But I think we might end up filling all the way to the end here with steel tanks. We'll get the steel back when we build ourselves a petrol tank. Yeah, we'll get the steel back when we build a petrol tank, so it's not too bad. Yeah, you've got somewhere to put abyssalite now that's not too stinkingly hot. In fact, some of it's pretty chill. I wonder if we could cool down the abyssalite that's stingingly hot, because you can't build with it, reset the temperature. But we could store the hot stuff in with the cold stuff, because some of that abyssalite is like -4. And if you store all the abyssalite in one container, it only says abyssalite once. It doesn't say several different temperatures, different amounts. As I know, it just says one and averages the temperature. So you could bring it up here and store it in here, and then you could sweep stingingly hot abyssalite up. No. What's that one? 40 degrees, and that one's 39. Yeah, it's not worth worrying about anymore. Ooh, that one can go. Can't put a ladder there because you can't build ladders over blocks. There's definitely storage space for ice and slime. How are we doing for temperature here? Lovely. Hey, nice. It actually got to minus in here a little bit, right next to the machine. I thought the heat from all these batteries might be too much for 2 of them. They're not that brilliant. Putting this bit of automation on, making the gas flow a tiny amount, exactly what it uses, 10k a time. Yeah, this one runs perfectly. This one keeps running jerkily. Weird. You can stop it from doing that just by splitting that for a second and reconnecting it. That seems to fix it. Let that flow through. Seems to get it back in sync again. But this bottom one seems to work all right. I've not really seen anything. You hover over it, it never says it's empty. Empty pipe, empty pipe. But then, problem. A lot of future. Because this Marco has got to go shop. He's got to go shopping. All the shop shuts. And, yeah. We are putting water in, aren't we? Is this even working? Yeah, I think it's working. It's just when this runs 13 degrees and it takes priority out of the tank here to feed in. It never backs up. It never gets to fill these tanks. And this is just like top-up water, which is really hot over the top of it. It means it's coming out here at a total of 22 degrees, which is actually quite good. That's really cooling it down. This is 87. When it's mixing with the cool water that's flowing, it knocks it to 22 degrees, 22.7. Brilliant. I like that. That's perfect. Machines have cooled down quite a bit. They were 57, 58 degrees, and at one point they were 60 something and climbing. So it was worth busting in there and putting some liquid pipes in, although I do think I should have removed the ladders. If we'd made the liquid locks lower, we could have removed the ladders and just scooped out our mess and gone. But yeah, we'll make a huge liquid hydrogen tank just because we... Yeah, this is the loop, isn't it? Yeah, that's the loop. How's the loop looking for temperature when it gets back here? 33 degrees. Going out at 13. So that's perfectly fine. Let's see. It should cool this side down a little bit. I think we may have run out of... Yeah, we've run out in our tanks there. What we can sneakily do, what you can do, is this pipe is always full. This is our pipe from this supply. If you bridge that onto here, ventilation, gas pipe, it will look for a space in the pipe and it will always fill it when there's a space. I won't leave it there too long. That didn't need to be obsidian. But it's just a nice way to refill the pipe when nobody's, when you're busy doing other stuff and you haven't got time to hang around and mess around with it. Put that like that. This pipe is always full anyway, so anytime there's a space, it'll fill the space with a block. If there's no space, it just won't, and it'll carry on flowing past and doing whatever you wanted it to do. So now it'll flow just for a few tiles until that tail catches up. Because it's bridged on, this line takes priority. If that is full, it won't do anything because it can't. There's nowhere for it to put a packet of whatever the material is. So just this line takes priority and this line will top up. So when that hole in the pipe, when that gap gets back around to here, it'll refill itself. Yeah, it'll be at 20 degrees or whatever. Actually, that's cooler than the cooling loop. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Perfect. It's probably coming out at 20 degrees because all of this cooled down so much now. Really does help feeding in cooler liquid. I thought these machines basically just added like 40 degrees to whatever you were put in, so it come out ridiculous. Nothing you could do about that. It seems like it's one of those, comes out the temperature it goes in at, plus a little bit extra. 20 degrees. That's not bad. I don't mind that. This is way, way, way. Look at this, 93 degrees. Yeah, don't want to put that in there, do I? So we'll mix and match, and of course, when this runs out, when this the salinator at the other end is being worked on, so there's a gap. This obviously runs full packets in at that point. That will be, only temporary, and then after a little while, this starts flowing again. Takes priority. And just having these 4, it was a bit of high hopes. Yeah, I don't think that's possible to have that much. We could set this to an overflow and drip it into here, but then it'll run, and yeah, okay, we might like to have all that extra water. But there's a couple of questions there. What are we going to do with it all? And it's going to be hot. And that's cooled down to 45 degrees now, but if you start running that with an overflow into here, it's going to be like 90 odd degrees. You have a tank of 90 degree water just sat there waiting to be used. It'll be like this all over again. Yeah, that's got flooded now. We'd have to build that one higher to run it. Or just pump out some of this water somewhere and use it. But that, I think, will be for later. What I was thinking of doing, hang on, that looked like it was about to erupt. Yeah, it is. 23 seconds. Okay, I've got enough time. What I was thinking of doing is where this material comes out of here. (15 degrees current ambient temperature). Oh, that's nice. That's all that sweeping we've just done. It's filling this line up really full. Yeah, we're only running with 4 now. So these are locked. Those are locked. These are still running. That one's locked. No, that was only because there was a creature sat on it. Yeah, these lines are backing up. That's good. What I was going to say is we could make a pool of water and run this conveyor rail through it. If you added, maybe we could thicken this up and run conveyor rails zigzagging through it. Thicken this up with granite, because that really helps to draw the cold from this into the granite, and then run your your hot stuff through those tiles. And that acts the same as like having a liquid coolant. Instead of having a pool of water, you literally have tiles with rails running through them. Do it that way. I was thinking of doing that. Seems like we don't need to, because all this granite is so cold. It's just flowing lovely now. Ah, that's much better. That's a relief. And having such massive sweep orders everywhere is giving these dupes something to do, so they're not sitting around all the time, moan that they got nothing to do. I think we might need a few more. Yeah, we might need a few more things for obsidian, for abyssalite. Can't do a lot with Abyssalite, but I'd rather just move it. Not sitting around. If it's all in up here, then not causing trouble. Causing lag. Lag issues. That still says 0, so I don't think it's triggered at all. Temperature's gone down a little bit. Not much. 812. 812 is still a lot more than 404, which is what that's set to. I changed it down to 404 instead of 405. So that's a quick 2-hour stream. I'll be back after lunch and we'll do a bit more. Hopefully we'll get over to that other place earlier. Illa. Ughilla? I don't know what the hell that's called. Okay. So, I will catch you later. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you later.